This is Tulio Surgusa with Dojo Live. It is Monday, and we're doing the recap show. We recap last week's show inside of 10 minutes. Welcome back, Carlos Bunta. You've been away for a few weeks on vacation.
Yes. Thank you.
Nice to see you back. And Kim, welcome back. It's another week. Here we go. So if only the people who watch the show could see the behind the scene before we get on the air. I mean, the kind of fun we were having, I could barely contain myself.
You call that fun?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dojo Life forever. Okay, so anyway.
They would get to see my sponsor here. That's my
There you go. There you go.
See what I had to put up with, folks.
Exactly. Exactly. The behind the scenes, we're getting a glimpse of it. We have fun, guys. So here it is. We had 2 shows like last week. It could have had 4, but we had a couple of cancellations last minute. Slackers! But anyway, we had 2 shows. One was with Nancy Fitzgerald. We talked about auto loans and secrets to savings. That was an interesting conversation about credit unions and how they can provide better rates for auto loans and ways to get around high fees and high interest rates. And then we also spoke with Stan Rinkiewicz, who from Poland, who was talking about outbound sales, outreach, and close specifically using email campaigning and strategies to develop a sales pipeline. So I enjoyed talking to both of them, but I'm going to let you guys comment first which one stood out for you, because usually I started off, but let's flip it around this week.
Absolutely, happy to. I'll just get started, and this is because, well, actually, I'm going to focus on the conversation with Stan from Orapa. I hope I pronounced it correctly. I've had a few conversations with Stan. I think he's a very ingenious and entrepreneurial young man, and I think he's across the pond, right? I think he's in Poland or something. Anyway, how can I say this? What has striken the most for me was the insight that I get from what he has mentioned is how to leverage an existing network of people, how you can leverage your existing connections and just make it work to everyone's advantage. For example, you made a connection here, but it didn't work out, but it might work for somebody else. So that kind of thing is what I found that Orapa is about, and I think it could be of great benefit not only for the companies that need the services, but also for the sales developers that are actually in the field, and they can put the platform work to their advantage. So that's what's striking me the most from that particular conversation with Stan, because like I said, he's a great guy, by the way, and very sharp, I would say. And so that's what stood out for me from that conversation, although I watched it at a later time, but it definitely stood out for me, Tulio. So I don't know about you guys. What do you think?
Yeah, I was definitely struck by Stan's entrepreneurial spirit as well. I mean, he's young. I think he said 24. And his background is that of, I believe, a professional snowboarder. So his businesses have come out of the need, right, of him wanting or needing to find a way to have income while he's still doing his passion of snowboarding. So I think that's very ingenious, very clever. Not all of us are quite so brave. So that definitely struck me. But as far as his SDR tactics or sales development goes, I think the thing that he talked about that struck me the most was this idea of being short and sweet, right? I think he mentioned just 1 or 2 sentences per email, and that seems to actually be producing his most successful response rate. So I think there's something to that perhaps we should investigate and try out and test ourselves in the sales area.
Yeah, you guys, you know what impressed me the most? I think he's 22, by the way, maybe 24. Still, anyone who thinks that young people are lazy are dead wrong, because this guy can, like, he was talking about hustling. He's got the hustle game down. All right, I mean, he started like 8 businesses by the time he's 24. So anyone who thinks that that the younger generation doesn't want to work hard, you're dead wrong, because he's proving point that, you know, anyone who wants a dream and wants to pursue it can do it. And I'll tell you what, There was another interesting entrepreneur at a young age who pursued starting a business because he wanted to sail. And he built a multi-billion-dollar business, and that was Larry Ellison, who's the founder of Oracle. So he's in good company trying to start a business to continue his snowboarding career, which ultimately will probably create a big business that will take over his life. So kudos to him. We had a great conversation with Nancy Fitzgerald. Interesting story. First of all, she was Miss Canada. She's like a winning pageant, and through great loss, turned around a business opportunity and created really an empire, right? So she lost her husband, who was the founder of the business, and found a way to dig in to continue the legacy, and then recreated it or reshaped it to her style, right? She restructured the operating and the leadership team in that organization, in that company, to be more of a family-oriented type of environment because it suits who she is and her personality. And I think it speaks volumes to companies whose CEOs, they really adapt the culture and the mindset and the values of CEOs, right? So if you want to have a culture that's fun and exciting, well, then you need to be fun and exciting, right? If you want to have a culture that's a bunch of corporate stiffs, then you just be a corporate stiff. So that's far from the truth with Nancy. And I really appreciated the way she goes about running her business and caring for customers and providing values nationwide and access to consumers, access to discounted rates for auto loans and smart deals, so that you're not overpaying. What stood out for you guys?
Well, I think the tie-in of being able to reinvent within the same environment, right? That happened a week two ago with talks ago with Ann Herman as well. I believe the Herman Company, they're third generation, and having to discover new ways of doing, let's say, the same thing. And I think that the ability to make something your own is what's striking.
I think we need more women in leadership, top leadership, because they tend to be more in the interest of serving people than just saying. I think a lot of people will probably agree with me on that one. So anyway, what do we got coming up this week? I think we're coming up on time. We're trying to do 10 minutes. What do we got coming up this week, Carlos?
Yeah, sure. Well, Tulio, we had a cancellation. So if you folks are looking at the website, and please pay no attention to what's advertising there for tomorrow. However, we're going to have another conversation tomorrow, but at a different time, at the usual time, I should say. The conversation, Tulio and Kim, is going to be with Jonathan. I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Kim or Kime? I'm sorry, folks, if I don't get it right, but it's K-E-I-M. And he's a communications director of Kim. Yeah. Communications director at the Investor Brand Network, or IBM, or Digital Media Syndication. So I don't have the topic yet because this is fairly recent, so it should be as interesting as ever, Tulio. And then we're going to have on Wednesday, on Wednesday we're going to be speaking with Ross Morell, the founder and CEO of Frog Slayer, and the topic is the future of digital innovation. So that's one on Wednesday. And finally, on Thursday, we're going to be speaking with Holly Melvin, the CEO and founder of. No, hold on one second, guys. I got it wrong. Okay, the one I just mentioned. Yeah, no. It's not a 2-in-1.
Oh,
the one I just mentioned. No, the one I mentioned is for tomorrow. So I said. Holly Melvin is for Thursday, folks. Please bear with me. I just got back. And then tomorrow...
Just come back at 1 p.m. every day except Friday, guys. That's it. Just come back at 1 p.m. every day except Friday.
Oh, Tulio, please shut up. Let me speak, Tulio. I know you like to steal the scene, but okay. Matt Levine from Cachet Fly, that's on Wednesday. And I don't have the topic yet, but it should be as interesting as all of DojoLIVE's conversations. So, and that's it.
All right. That's it. We have 10 seconds left.
We're definitely doing a team building day.